Hello, I'm Becky Stevenson and welcome to my ICD-10 video blog. I've done a couple of these blogs and today I would like to discuss with you the comparison of an ICD-9 to ICD-10 code, and specifically I'd like to talk about the 7th character in ICD-10 and what that means to you. The 7th character is unique to the chapter that the code lies within. In other words, not all chapters in the code set have a 7th character, but when they do, the 7th character means something different within every chapter. So when you go to look up a code, I'd like to reassure you that the manner in which you're reviewing a code right now or looking it up is the exact same way that you'll look up a code in ICD-10. You're going to go to the index, and then you're going to go to the tabular to review the code and make sure you have the most appropriate code. So that said, when you go to look up a accident or injury code such as the fracture of a patella, in ICD-9 that code would be 822.0. That's a closed fracture of the patella. In ICD-10 that code will have 7 characters, and although it will tell you it's a fracture of the patella, it gives you more information. The code for fracture of a patella in ICD-10 would be S82001A. And I'll allow that to flash up on your screen for you to analyze the two codes side by side, and then I'll break down the ICD-10 code and explain it. So now that you've had a chance to look at the ICD-10 code, let's break it down and discuss what it means. If you look at the S82, the first 3 characters, that tells you the category of the code, as with the first 3 characters of ICD-9, and that category is fracture of the patella. The next 3 characters in ICD-10 tell you the site, etiology, or manifestation of the code. In this case, those next 3 characters will tell us different things about that fracture of the patella, and in this case it's the left side. So the fracture is of the left patella, and instead of using a modifier to describe the laterality is built into the code. The 7th character in this case is the letter A, and that means that it is the initial encounter for that fracture. So it's important when you're coding fractures to know whether it's an initial encounter or a subsequent encounter. In ICD-10, the subsequent encounter would be coded with the letter D. Additionally, for a closed fracture, that 7th character can have the letter S, which would mean sequela, meaning that there are complicating issues surrounding that injury. Next, I'd like to talk about the 7th character as it pertains to a different chapter, and that's chapter 15, which is pregnancy and childbirth. In this case, the 7th character identifies conditions of the fetus, and the character is a number, and it can be 0 through 5 or the number 9. With the 0, that indicates that it's only a single fetus. In cases of multiple gestation, you can point out fetus 1 through 5, or after 5 it would be the number 9, which means other fetus. So it enables you to really identify different fetus and different issues with multiple gestation. Let's look at a specific example of a code from this chapter, and that code is maternal care for a breech presentation for a single fetus, and it is the letter O321XX0. If you look at this code, the number 0 as the 7th character tells us there's only one fetus and that the breech presentation applies to that one fetus. If you look at the character place 5 and 6, you'll see 2 X's in those positions, and these are called placeholder codes, and they're very unique to ICD-10, and I'd like to discuss them next time. So thanks for listening. Until next time, we'll discuss placeholder codes.